We finally got permission to leave the house, so we're here at round one at the Mountain State Hare Scramble, where I'll be racing both the bike and the four-wheeler. Of course, it had to be a downpour right before the race, and yes, I had trouble, and no, you shouldn't race backwards. Come with us while we check out Mountain State Hare Scramble to see what it has to offer. With everything being closed down, locked down, or rescheduled due to the coronavirus, we're finally out racing at round one at the Mountain State Hare Scramble at Marvin's Mountaintop. And the Mountain State Hare Scrambles, they start out with the little guys and girls on the 50s. They're out here bright and early, and this little guy is one of our sponsored riders, Trey.
Ready to go?
Throughout this video, I will be giving you helpful information just in case you want to check out the Mountain State Hare Scramble. With the toss of the green flag, just like that, the 2020 Mountain State Hare Scramble is underway, and these little guys are out for a rocky course.
Take that back. There is a danger right here in this field section, guys.
The day started out dry, but as the 85s and the 65s was getting a description of the course, the rain came in, and it came in hard. The Mountain State Hare Scramble had an awesome turnout. Even the little guys came out to play.
Oh, you're fine.
As the 85s and the 65s are out playing in the mud, our other sponsored rider, Nevin, has to set in the rain.
So, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
You gonna show these boys what to do, how to ride a four-wheeler?
I guess.
I got a spot on here. There we go. So, how long have you been on a four-wheeler? 1 week. And you decided to race, huh? Was that your idea or your dad's?
My idea.
Oh yeah. Well, you have good luck out there. Show these boys how to do it. All right, we'll see you.
The bikes is finished up, and now it's time for the four-wheelers to get out and play in the mud. Looks like they made some contact, but they'll be up and moving before they know it. And here comes Nevin. He almost had the whole shot, but just couldn't get traction to get up the hill. He's looking good. Not only do they have to deal with the rocks in the woods, but now they got to deal with the mud in the fields.
Come on, buddy!
Here comes Nevin. He's splish splashing and looking for traction. With the youth all wrapped up, it's my turn to go play in the mud as Heidi's on the back and we're on our way to the track. I don't always get to have Heidi as my pit crew, but I sure appreciate it when she's there. She's a big help. There's a lot of things that I like about racing, but this is the one part I hate the most. Anxiety level is very high.
We don't have an alternate in place. We have it in place, but we don't have it aired as an option. We're going to monitor that. I have somebody there right now. As soon as he said...
It's race time. Let's get this thing started. This was a record attendance for the Mountain State Hare Scramble. We had to wait a little while to get everybody signed up, but now it's time to go throw some mud. And as you can see, my Heidi is right on point, keeping the mud off of me and her.
Love you, sweetie.
Viens.
I almost had a good hole shot, but I stumbled in the turn, but not too bad. I do finally get to make some passes, and I think I go about third or fourth in the woods. Not bad for the 450. It's going to be a long day with this camera, but don't worry, I'll be popping a tear off for you here before you know it. I'm racing the 40 AB class. I'm not real sure about the AB part of it. I consider myself an A rider. I'm 51 years old, but I run with the 40 guys. But it's going to be tough to know who's in my class because both the 40 AB and the 30 AB started on the same line. The Mountain State Hare Scramble, they do give the collar coordinated so you know what class you're in, but not everybody uses it, and I have been known to forget it myself a few times. But with the mud, it really isn't going to matter because basically you just going to have to do your best and hope for the best finish today. Stay steady. Definitely taking it easy, filling out the track. It's my kind of conditions. I love the mud and the rocks, so I was just trying to be patient and not make the big mistake. If you race this race, leave a comment. Let me know how you did and what you thought of the track. This gentleman right here in front of me, he seems to be a pretty good rider. I get around him, but I mess up and he gets back around me. I think I've passed him like 3 times on the first lap. I've mentioned it before, but the main thing on a day like today is not to follow. Try to find different lines because most likely somebody's going to mess up or get stuck in front of you and you don't want to be stuck behind them. So you can't pass somebody by following them, and definitely try to find other lines. This was a new section that the Mountain State Hare Scramble put in for us. It got pretty gnarly on the last few laps. I guarantee you, if several people was not looking forward to get back to this section, because if the mud didn't make you tired, this section definitely would. But the Mountain State Hare Scramble looks like something you want to get into. The gates open at 7 a.m. typically on Sunday, but pay attention to the schedule. The gate fee is $10 for adults, and children under 5 are free. If you run the pro class, it's $50 with 100% payback. amateur classes are $30 and the youth classes are $20. First on the line are the mini youth bikes at 8 o'clock, 20 minutes on their race. On the second on the line is the mini youth ATVs. Those start at 8:30, 20-minute race. And the youth bikes start at 9:20. That's a 45-minute race. The youth ATV starts at 10:30. That's a 45-minute race. The adult bikes are 12 p.m. That's a 2-hour race. And the adult four-wheeler is at 3 p.m. That's an hour-and-a-half race. Make sure you check out MountainStateHareScramble.com for any other information that you may need. I used to race the Open A class, but starting back here in the 40A, you definitely have traffic on the first lap that you got to work your way through. Just got to be patient. They're racing their own race, and you don't want to mess them or yourself up. One cool thing about the Mountain State Hare Scramble, they do have live laps. I've never used it. I know Heidi has many times, but it's very helpful to help your riders to know where they are and what their lap times are.
Thank you.
Marvin's Mountaintop or Mountaintop Raceway. It's been raced on quite a bit throughout the years, starting out, I believe, with Paul Kuntz with the East Coast Racing Series. Richie had taken over the East Coast Racing Series for Paul Kuntz. He's been in it for a few years. The GNCC has raced the Mountaineer here for several years. So this property has seen a lot of racing in its day, and it never gets old. I love this place. We're on the back side of the mountain. If you ran down over the hill, to the right is the Cheat River. And as I came up to this place, I heard Richie talking about the go-around. Now just look back, I seen it. I never go to go-around unless I know it's for sure clogged up. I saw a guy coming down out of there. That should have been my first indication. But this is one trail that I don't know that I've ever ran. And I actually thought that was the bad spot. I'm like, well, that wasn't bad. So I come on up across here, flattens out, thinking I got past the worst, and then look here, somebody's coming down off the hill. I lose my momentum. He's stuck. There was another guy stuck. I didn't even try to get moving. So my bright idea was just spin the bike around, go back down, and go around the go-around. But as you can see, I could not get this bike to turn around for nothing. This is one spot that the 450, I feel the weight. Everybody talks about how heavy a bike is. Yeah, this is where my back wheels get against the bank. The front wheel will not come around. I'm trying my best to get it turned around. And as you can see, I'm struggling. This is the big screw up that I told you at the beginning of the video I was trying to avoid.
Up. Sorry.
So the gentleman right there on the Yamaha, that's Mike Jamie. We seem to be running into each other literally a lot lately. If you watch our other video from the hangover, when we ran the morning open class, this is the guy that I chased around for the first lap. We're pretty similar in speed, and we've been racing. I think we've raced every race so far this year together. But he's a pretty cool guy. Here's something highly not recommended. He's going down the track backwards. But I was not going to be able to make it up here, and I can't imagine what this bottleneck was going to look like. So I wasn't turning around, even though I'm struggling. I timed the amount of time from the time I stopped until I got back to the top of the hill. It was 3 minutes that I lost, and that's normally a deal breaker, but I decided to stick with it and see how I turned out. And well, for now, let's talk to Austin. He's the gentleman that you've seen in our other videos, the young gun. The last couple videos we had from when we was playing around at Bob's, my good friend's Bob's. Let's see what he has to say about his summer so far. Alright, we're here with Austin Hovatter, one of the fastest dudes on two wheels. How you been?
Oh, I've been pretty good. Been anxious for the race season to start back up.
So have you been keeping 6 foot distancing?
Yeah, I just been out riding the motorcycle, getting some time in on it, getting ready for the race season.
So this is the Mountain State Hare Scramble. They're round one. They already had to cancel a couple of them. But you've done a few of the GNCCs. How has it been?
It's been a struggle this year lately, getting on a new bike, trying to get used to it. It's not been what I'm used to.
Going from a 2-stroke to a 4-stroke?
Yeah, it's not the easiest switch in the world.
What's the biggest difference?
Just the overall power. It's got more of like a smooth curve versus the 2-strokes more, I don't know, just rips your arms off basically.
I know you've been working with the suspension settings and stuff, but you was at the last Georgia. How did the coronavirus affect or change the GNCC?
Didn't really change too much. There's actually a lot more people than you expected, but there was some people wearing masks, but it wasn't nothing out of the usual.
I heard they had organized a lot better. Things went through as far as sign up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sign up was really easy. There's a lot more people pre-registering than normal, but everything was pretty well set up. 6 foot distancing. We had hand washing stations. No one really used porta-johns. It wasn't really too bad. A lot of people kept their distance.
Well, speaking of GNCC, we're here at Marvin's Mountaintop. This is a former GNCC track, and maybe I heard they may be coming back again this year. What do you expect out here at the Marvin's Mountain Rock Top?
Like you said, just rocks. That's pretty much all there is. Rocks and rocks and rocks.
Yeah, well, you have a good race, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Try not to run me over. We'll see you. Austin has made the transfer from 2-stroke to 4-stroke this year. He's getting the suspension worked out, and he's starting to do pretty well at the GNCC. I have been with that kid since he was on a 50, and it's so good to watch these guys come up. Zach Nolan is another one that I've watched from when he was back on the 65s. They grow up and get fast and pass me. Austin beat me out here today. I'm not going to make no excuses. You got to not make mistakes. And unfortunately, this gentleman, he made a little mistake. I think I know that guy. I'm not going to bring up his name. But it was easy to mess up out here today. I done screwed up, and the rest of the day is pretty trouble-free. I'll talk about one incident that I had on the last lap, but just staying steady. This is one of the spots back on the back where when you first come in below the parking lot, that you almost had to double check to make sure that you didn't get swamped out. That was one of them, and this right here crossing the road, there was another one. It doesn't look that bad, and yeah, I slowed down, but you're better off to make sure that you're in a good spot. I've been stuck out in the woods in a hole and had to wait for a four-wheeler. It's no fun. You're better off to take a second or two just to make sure that you're hitting the right spot. Here this field got pretty bad throughout the day, but all in all, the track was trouble-free. Richie laid out a good course. I don't think anybody got lost or off the track that I heard or seen. We're coming up to Heidi. I'm needing a new pair of goggles.
goggles.
Well, why are you pushing over here?
I got stuck on that freaking big hilltop.
Don't go on it.
I'm not.
I come in there and I went underneath the canopy, as you heard her say, "Why'd you come up in here?" I just expected her not to have the goggles out there. I thought they were in the trailer, but of course Heidi, being on top of her game, she had them right there ready. And I love her answer when I told her about being stuck on the hill. She's like, "Don't go on that hill," and I didn't the rest of the day. So this is lap 1. I come across. I believe I'm third. I couldn't see how far back I was, but I just knuckled down and try to put in some steady laps. This is my cousin Bradley. He's always out with a helping hand. With the downpour of rain, I didn't get too many interviews, but so Heidi decided to interview me.
Here today on this fine Memorial Day weekend, as you can see, it stopped raining for a second, and the sun is trying to come out with some fog. Kind of reminds you of snowshoe. I'm here with the founder of Trail Seeker Adventures, Kenny Hawkins.
What's up?
Kenny,
What?
he is a loyal Suzuki rider. If anybody knows Kenny, there you go. What's your plan for today?
Win.
When? So how are you going to do that on this muddy conditions? Are you a fan of the mud?
I don't mind mud. I don't like it so much on the four-wheeler, but on the bike, I don't mind it.
So Kenny is racing the dirt bike first, and then he gets immediately off of it and gets on his four-wheeler. What class are you running?
40A.
40A.
Old man class.
The old man class.
Even though I'm 50, I'm running 40A.
I think he's 51.
Well, nobody's counting.
Right?
Yeah, nobody's counting that extra one.
Tell us a little bit what does Trail Seeker Adventures means to you, and what are you trying to promote with your new adventure podcast? Well, it's not even so much a podcast, I guess, videos and things that you've been putting on YouTube. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, you and I go out and do a bunch of crap, motorcycles and stuff, and I thought that people would like to know about what each series is all about and what ride parks have, like Brothers Camping, or if it has
Like what
restaurants,
facilities and
yeah, bathhouse and stuff. So for now on, when we go to a ride park, whether it's Hatfield McCoy's or wherever, we're going to videotape, get the information that we think you might want, and then put it out there for you all to check out.
Yeah, and we're also not just doing that with motorcycles, but we're also doing that with hiking, maybe some kayaking. Kenny will get into a little bit, and some mountain biking trails. So obviously with COVID-19, we've not got to do what we thought we would be doing, but West Virginia is opening back up, so hopefully we can bring some good videos to you.
That's a pretty good interview, Heidi. Yeah, the Trail Seeker Adventures, we definitely want to try to get out and hit as many of the bike parks, motocross, woods, Hatfield. We're going to be going to Hatfield McCoy's before long. Hit as many series as we can. There's some different series that we're actually, the very next video is going to be on the SXCS, and it's going to be a sprint cross. That's something in this area hasn't seen a lot. Just to show you what it's all about. This gentleman right here, I didn't realize it. He's actually in my class. And, I don't usually make a call on a guy that's in my class, but at this time I didn't know it until I went back and watched this video. So he's rolling around here pretty good. But yeah, check us out. Trail Seeker Adventures. We're just getting things started. Hopefully we can get some material out there that the bike riders, hikers, mountain bikers, we went to Snowshoe. If you want to see what Snowshoe has to offer, check it out. Check out our channel. Make sure you give a thumbs up. Looks like I'm second. I gotta get out here and catch this other guy. And but make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. That way, every time we put out a new event or a new ride park, whatever we're doing, you'll be notified and let you know that we have a new event that you can check out, and maybe you're interested to get out and enjoy the outdoors. It doesn't cost you a cent. I know I used to not like to subscribe to channels, just the word subscribe kind of scared me away from it, but it don't cost nothing. Basically, it just lets you know when we put out an event. As you can see, things are getting a little slick out here, but I'm having a great day. I wasn't the fastest out here on this day, but I was just trying to play a smart game, knowing that I have another race. After this race, I gotta go back and jump on the four-wheeler. Here I am struggling this rock little section a little bit. There was a right line there that went up through the road. I almost went that way, but I didn't feel right doing it. You just, I don't know. I just feel somebody's always watching you. Felt that that might have been the wrong thing to go, but to go up that way. I started getting a little lazy on the camera, getting it cleaned off. This is going to be probably the last lap I put on as the video. I ended up first in my class, and I think 22nd overall. Not too far into the last lap, I laid it down and smashed the head pipe pretty much shut. My 450 went to a really heavy 150, but we wrapped up the day, and I was okay with our finish. So it's time to go get the four-wheeler, get to the line, and get to do it all over again. Heidi doesn't have to pull my stand since I got short leg syndrome. On my bike I have a stand I stand on. She's up close to the first turn. I get a decent start, but then I hit neutral, which never has happened on the four-wheeler. But unfortunately, I totally forgot that I had a camera. And as you see, it's pretty muddy with these old four-wheelers. You're constantly cleaning your lens. And unfortunately, I forgot to clean the camera for like almost the entire first lap. So I'm going to skip ahead. Ooh, pop the tear off. And I don't have a lot of video, unfortunately, of the four-wheeler. As you can see, the mud just flopping up over the back of you. And whoever had this four-wheeler before me cut the fenders down on the front, so I get covered. I get a little lazy on the camera, and I don't know, halfway forget. But the four-wheeler, the difference between a four-wheeler and the bike, people ask that all the time. Well, on a four-wheeler, you don't have to worry about the rocks taking your front wheel out. That is a plus. I do notice that on a four-wheeler, my shoulders get a lot bigger workout. And as that guy right there seen, I don't know if he's broke down or not, but the biggest lessons I learned on the four-wheeler is do not get yourself stuck. On a dirt bike, you can rip it up through the woods to get around a bottleneck or whatever. You get one of these things stuck, especially with no reverse, you're sitting there for the entire race because they are so heavy. I took the go around on the four-wheeler also on this hill climb back here. That's coming right up through here. All it would take is one four-wheeler to be stuck. The hill wasn't really that bad, but I did not want to try to turn this thing around. But yeah, it was a pretty trouble-free actually on the four-wheeler. Like I say, you don't want to get stuck. I feel very awkward standing up on this thing. It's like I'm leaning over way too much compared to the bike. Actually, coming around here, I raced four-wheeler for the first time in 1996 with the Paul Kuntz race. I don't know how long after that, after he started, but in 96, I was coming out through here. I didn't have bead locks. I came around a turn, something like that, too fast. It popped the tire off the bead lock and down over that hill. We was coming the opposite direction. And I rolled that thing down over that hill 4 or 5 times. I tried to get out of the way. It landed on my shoulder, and I think I only raced like 3 races It was in the 2-stroke B class. I was almost in a points lead. It was a double points day. I was trying to probably overrun the machine I had, and that made my racing career on a four-wheeler come to an early start or stop. I got back into the dirt bikes in 2005, and then just a couple years ago I decided to try it on a four-wheeler again. I enjoy it, but it's definitely hard on the old back. That was one spot on a dirt bike. I just ripped right through there, no big deal at all. But on a four-wheeler, you learn to slow down for them spots, because if not, your gloves, your goggles, you're pretty much soaked. So you learn to slow down for the wet spots. That was the mud hole from the bike. It didn't get as bad as I was expecting throughout the race. This place has a pretty rocky bottom, so it holds up pretty well. That's a pretty decent hill climb. Of course, there's my friend Bob and Heidi. Not that you can see them. He's sitting at the pits waiting to see if I needed anything. I kept it pretty steady out here today. I think I only slid out one time. Never did get stuck. The first lap, when I had all the mud on the camera, there was a bottleneck at the rocky section, but it wasn't too bad at all. The Mountain State Hare Scramble, they do have a board here at the checkpoint. If you look to your far left corner, you can't see it very well, but it will tell you what position you're in, how many laps, what lap you're on, and how far back you are. Coming up is the only spot I had any issues, and you'll see what I'll talk about messing up. There's a little log that's stuck out here in the mud. You don't really see it there. I hit it. It just kind of throws me sideways, and watch how hard I struggle to get this thing turned around. Yes, I'm a little weak, but yeah, that's the fun part of a four-wheeler. Right here's Richie. He's a neighbor of mine. I actually unloaded this four-wheeler out of the building. I raced it last year. I think it was at the Mason-Dixon line, and I didn't touch the thing until just, I don't know, a couple days. Looks like he missed the turn there. But I was putting this large gas tank on it, and I found out I had a broken frame. I patched it up as good as I could, but Richie got on Facebook and messaged me and said, come on up, he'd weld it up. So he welded it up for me, and the four-wheeler felt awesome all day today. I finished first and I think 16th overall. This is about going to do it for the video. I get lazy on the camera. The Mountain State Hare Scramble is a East Coast series. It's mostly of the West Pennsylvania and Maryland location and northern West Virginia. I hope this video has been helpful. Make sure you like our videos and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.